Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I've been watching that attorney, which is a buffoonery when you think about it, in Fulton County under Fonnie Willis and Judge Glenfield and all the black folk down there. I'm just saying it's been some buffoonery. I mean, it's really embarrassing. And the judge that just was caught fighting the police, and her weed was pulled out, and the Georgia State Senate just relieved her of her judge duties and said she can't run or do nothing for 7 years. It's just a mess down there in Fulton County. You know what? I'm gonna play that too. I'm gonna do that on her because that is just a mess. But anyway, I was looking at these cats is just like the kids. Always interrupted because he wanna go outside and he ain't going nowhere. But I was looking at Young Thug's attorney Brian Steele, and I'm just gonna play this clip. I never liked Young Thug. I didn't like his music. I didn't like when he dressed up in the dresses. I didn't like none of that. I just didn't like him. I was not a fan, but I have a newfound respect after listening to Brian Steele's interview, and I'm gonna play that.
We are sitting down today with Brian Steele. Thank you so much for making time for us today. How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Let's start off with the national conversation that's happening right now about rap lyrics, whether they should be allowed in courtrooms during cases and whether they should not be. We know New York is having this discussion. Fulton County is having this discussion. You know, LA, so many things. What are your thoughts on that?
That somebody has created words that are in a song or in a book or in a movie. They should not be judged by their work, performance, because that's storytelling. So the problem I really have with the lyrics from rap music throughout our country and right here in Fulton County is we don't do that with other types of entertainment or artistry. And that's really my problem, because to me, rap music has been birthed by the struggle of the inner city. And why are we targeting that group rather than a writer who talks about a killing or drug dealing? Or how about the white songwriters?
Why does rap music oftentimes feel like it's on trial as a genre?
It seems like it's racist to me. Because otherwise, I have no idea. I don't know why other forms of violent lyrics in country music or in rock and roll, they don't seem to get this type of attention.
Where do the lines blur when it comes to lived reality and that storytelling that we speak of? Because that's something that's also argued is like, okay, is this someone's personal diary, or is this them telling a story from a lens that they're storytelling through?
Unless there's direct evidence or circumstantial evidence that's credible and that's competent in a courtroom, this is storytelling. Otherwise, if you look at it the other way, it's going to have a chilling effect on creativity.
When you got the call to represent Young Thug, as an attorney, what was going through your mind at that time?
And I'm concerned with a human being who's wrongly charged. And I've had the pleasure of defending Mr. Williams for approximately a decade, maybe a little more. So to me, I know his family. I've defended him in courtrooms multiple times. I knew right away that he's been targeted for 10 years by the prosecution. So My feeling was exactly what I said, and I will defend him.
What do you feel like he's being targeted, or he has been targeted for a decade?
Every time it's a bad stop by the police officer, it's a unlawful search warrant. It is some charges that there were multiple people there and he had nothing to do with it. So how many times do you have to be wrongly prosecuted till you realize that he's being wrongly targeted?
How hopeful is he right now in conversations? We did hear the video that he made to his fans during a concert where he directly talked to his fans. But how is he doing right now with everything that he's going through?
He's an amazing person who comes from hunger and poverty and lack of opportunity. He's extremely strong, and he's getting stronger every day now.
The indictment received new charges recently. Is that new evidence that came about? Where did the 6 new counts come from?
On the day of Mr. Williams' arrest, which is going to be Monday, May 9, 2022, law enforcement officers execute a search warrant on the home that he stays in. He stays in many homes. And in that home, allegedly, there was marijuana found, codeine found, and guns. One gun, a supposed machine gun. That's the allegations. There were several people. I don't remember the exact number, 8, 10, 12 people in the home at that time. There's multiple people in and out of the house other than Mr. Williams. So what law enforcement officers did was they then charged Mr. Williams with these additional crimes. As you said, the indictment was already out, and now the prosecutor just added those charges to this indictment.
And with the charges that are listed, which are, very serious, you're saying
Mr. Williams is wrongly charged on every single count. I think that a person like Jeffrey Williams is a hero, not a criminal. And January 2023, all of that will be told.
Can you give us examples of his community service and commitment to his community?
He's done multiple concerts. He donates every single penny to the inner city.
I didn't know
He has
that.
come to relief of city to those communities. He has brought into communities open house. Just go to the store. They will give you all of your food and your clothing and the children's back to school needs. He's come into communities with hundreds of pairs of shoes. Just show up and then find the shoes that fit you. He has given jobs to do rap, and he has gone to children and not only sponsored the cheerleading and the football team and the basketball team and the baseball team, but he goes and explains to them, don't be a rapper. Go to school and go get a degree and be a professional. And he tells everyone that. There's this young man named Corey Jackson, Corey J. If you ever Google him, you will see what Mr. Williams does. He does it countless times, where he takes a child who's basically homeless and their family, and he doesn't want any credit. And that young man today goes around our country. He's 15. He goes around our country and he tells people, hustle doesn't mean sell drugs. Hustle means get up every day, put on clean clothing as best you can. Let's get an education. This is what you do with your money then. If you ever are lucky enough to get money, don't gamble it away, invest it.
Tell us about how important it was to hear Corey J's personal experience with Young Thug in the courtroom, that heartfelt message that he shared.
That's just Mr. Williams. I could bring countless people like that. This is just Mr. Williams. When you're dealing
and you fought for Corey to be heard. I remember, the judge was like, is this a different kind of voice that we haven't heard yet? You were like, let the kid talk. Like, if he can have an opportunity to be heard, let him get up on the stand and to be heard. How important was that to you?
the court is hearing the prosecutor say that Mr. Williams is in charge of a criminal street gang, and by his word, people can die. That's basically what he's saying. And that's just not true. So I thought that everybody that we put up at that bond hearing is important for the court to know about and a jury to know about.
Why is Mr. Williams so relatable to the youth in Atlanta?
Because he is the hope. And he's trying to get others out of poverty. That's his mission in life.
What are the negative connotations that comes with being a rapper that may not always reflect who the rapper is?
For people like you who are informed, people in the rap industry, it's show business. It's an act. They are performers. So, and they're performing all the time, much like, I guess, professional wrestlers. We don't even know their real names. They're performing all the time. That's not the human being, though. That's not, them with their family members or with their community members. That's what you're asking. So for people who say, there's a tweet, Young Thug, that says it all, those people are really misinformed, and I expect that they will change their opinion if they're interested in learning come January 2023, because Jeffrey Williams is a father, he is a son, he is a genius, and he committed none of these crimes.
When he in a courtroom is being called King Slime, that the allegations of YSL is connected to, according to prosecution, street gang activity, of crime, of felonies, of all these different things. Tell us about what the next few months really means to you.
We spend every day working our case and putting it into a ability with witnesses to tell a truthful story. And the prosecution's theory will not hold up in court because the truth will come out.
Do you feel like nationwide there should be a standard on lyrics in courtrooms, or should it be handled state by state?
I think it should be handled case by case. Just presented a bill to Congress, and he gives a criteria on when a lyric can be used in a courtroom, and that's what it should be. It should be that it should never be used in a courtroom unless the prosecution show that lyric is that prosecutors should back off targeting people who defend the right.
You saw the petition for Protect Black Art. What came to your mind?
It's sad that we even need a petition to protect Black art. I can't believe that in 2022, this is where we are in our country. However, with that being said, it's a good thing. And people have to realize that we are discriminating when we go after a certain type of music. It is wrong to do. Rap music helps our community. And if you don't like it, don't listen to it. But that's for everybody. That's why it's America.
When was the first time that you met Young Thug? You said you've been representing him for 10 years now?
I believe that's an approximation, but yeah, it's probably true. I'm really proud of him. I know his whole family. I know his brothers and sisters. All of his work, he's a workaholic. He will stay 48 hours, 72 hours in a studio and just continually write. He's constantly helping other artists. Jeffrey Williams gets it. He gets it. The people need help, and he's in a position, fortunately for him, where he can help other people until recently.
For someone like him who does mean so much to his community that he came up out of, why is he under?
Law enforcement officers are all too eager to say, well, tell us about Mr. Williams. Is he involved in this? What do you know about him? That's the problem with this case. it's coming from the word of people who are getting deals to say he gave the order, or I heard from someone else he gave the order. That's what this case is about. You're not going to hear any confession of Jeffrey.
Potential link to anything, his name comes up.
But when you target a person to say, oh, you mean I could be released from this location that I don't want to be, all I have to say is I know something about Jeffrey Williams. That's pretty scary.
After that interview and what his attorney said, I had no idea that he went out to the community doing the things that he did for people. My son told me about him and little baby, and they went down and they built out over 100 people down in Fulton County. You know, it just gave me a new look for him. I'm actually proud now to get the judge recused Glenfield off the case. All the attorneys got together, filed the paperwork to go before Georgia Supreme Court. Welcome home, young thug. Welcome home, Jeffrey Williams. I have a new round respect for that young man. Like, share, subscribe.